Hey guys, mga mams, mga bex, mga beshies, mga dude pare chong, it's me, Baby G. Welcome back to my channel.
Are you ready?
This is part 2 of the documentation improvement series that I am featuring in this channel. As a quick background, I am a US-based physical therapist who spent years perfecting the art of writing great notes. The objective of this multi-part series is to provide some tips on enhancing our skills as clinicians as to properly translating the great patient care we provide to our patients into paper, computer screen, wherever. Part 1 has been a hit so far, so if you haven't watched it, I post a link right here to lead you to it. Before we go any further, take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button below. If you want more helpful quality content, go ahead, don't be shy. So did you do it? Okay, thanks. Somewhere in this video, I would give you instructions on how you can get more information from what I would be talking about, okay? So for today's video, I would focus more on how we can improve documenting under therapeutic exercises. TheraX is more than just giving your patients ankle weights or setting them up on a resistance machine or a bike or a treadmill and then calling it a day. As therapists, we should note what we did that was skilled in order to support billing this goal. Here are some of the tips. Number 1, identify modifications or support that are required to safely complete an activity. You should document the amount of support you provided for the resident to complete the exercise correctly and safely so that the optimal muscle recruitment is achieved. One way of doing this is as follows. Can you see it? It's over here. So in this exercise, the resident will be doing quad strengthening. So you want to make sure, you use your medical jargons here and there. Fast concentric, slow eccentric, indicate the number of times. For this case, it's doing it with both legs and doing it with a single leg. So the resident was able to complete the reps prescribed but needed intermittent tactile and verbal cues to prevent external hip rotation, substitution, and jerky movement. So you qualify how he did, so that would help. Number 2, identify the level of resistance and the muscle groups trained, as well as the correlation to functional performance. When training therapeutic exercises, most especially, more than just talking about the exercises you have the resident do, it's equally important to specify the level of resistance you use and how the activity can help the resident. It can read as follows. So you can say somewhere along the lines of the therapist presented, activities as to use of ankle weights. So over here, I'll put that up. So for this case, you want to strengthen in preparation for ambulation. So you want to use different phases of gait, high marches for hip and knee flexion during swing phase, all that jazz. So if you use terminologies from Ranchos Los Amigos, terminology for gait, then so be it. That's good. So if you provide feedback on performance, that would be really good in making sure that there's carryover of the treatment effects. You also note if the resident had any impulsivity of movement during the performance of the exercises requiring therapist's correction. Number 3, provide education throughout in energy conservation, perceived exertion, and denoting feedback to the support needed for therapeutic rest. Let's be honest, how many of us have set up a patient on a bike and think that was sufficient? Whether it's providing education during the intervention or carefully monitoring the resident's response to the activity, it's important that you're doing something hands-on that an unskilled person wouldn't be able to do the same thing. Make sure that you look at this example when you use a recumbent stepper, a bike, or whatever. So in this example, we're doing warm-up, training, and cool-down for certain intervals. So, and you state what the benefit of the exercise is and how it is in preparation for better quality of movement during gait. If you put in terms like this, resident reported that he enjoyed doing the activity, that's a resident response. And if you document how the vital signs are, how the RPE is, so all that information could definitely strengthen your note. Number 4, include verbatim statements from residents as to how exercise and therapy is helping them, as well as the reaction to the program. When a resident verbalizes how exercise has been helping them, most of the time this information fly over our heads when this could be used as a supporting statement within the note about how therapy has positively changed our residents' quality of life. Therefore, it is important to incorporate these verbatim statements into your daily documentation. Here's an example. In this activity, the resident was inside the parallel bars and you're training strengthening of the legs in order to get into houses like thresholds and stuff. And then the resident said, I can't believe how I'm able to feel more comfortable not holding on to anything while doing this. I can now confidently pick my foot up and get into my house without fear of falling. That's a really good statement to put in. If you put in other details like progression and how you made the activity a little more difficult, how it relates to the resident, then that's great as well. Are you still with me? Good. So if you want to get a copy of the things I just discussed in this video, as well as other documentation ideas when it comes to therapeutic exercise coding, leave a comment down below saying yes, like that, and send me a screenshot of how you subscribe to my channel to any of my social media platforms listed in the description, and I will gladly send the information your way. Now on to the last tip for this video. Number 5. Review ACSM guidelines for exercise. As PTs, exercise prescription is our bread and butter. Therefore, it is important for us to go back to basics and utilize information that has been researched on how exercise can be effective in helping our residents' aerobic capacity, strength, balance, and even flexibility. On a separate video, I would be discussing some tips on how to incorporate this information from ACSM into your documentation. I will post a link below as to the latest information from this. But as to documentation, here's an example. Like that. So in this case, we're determining the 1 rep max for hamstring curls using the hamstring curls machine. So in this example, what we're trying to do is we're trying to state that we determined what's an adequate dose for the resident. This seems to be a high functioning resident, and you want to determine what is an appropriate resistance that we'll use to help get the resident stronger. And you also educated them on DOMs, which is important in making sure that they know what to expect after doing that exercise. So yeah, when you have this information readily available for the next therapist or an auditor to see, this would lead them to think that you are deliberate about adequately dosing your exercise regimen. There are a lot of little things we can do to enhance the quality of our notes. And if we form a habit of incorporating them into how we document, we'd be able to elevate our profession even more and ensure that the quality of service we provide translates positively into our notes. As always, thank you for watching. Wash your hands, practice social distancing, and wear a mask. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.